Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create an effective task board on Ensightful to keep your project running smoothly. Once you've logged into your account and selected your course from the dashboard, this will be the first page that you see. To access the task board, just click on the Tasks tab at the top of the page. Today I'll be walking you through creating your first task. Before we begin, you'll notice that we already have a few cards in the task board. The ones with the black outlines here are known as project milestones. Milestones are a bit different than tasks. These are only created by your instructor and serve as deliverables for your project that you'll need to complete by a certain date. Tasks, on the other hand, are what you and your team will create to organize how you're going to meet these deliverables, ensuring that you can successfully complete each project milestone on time. So let's dive in. In some cases, your instructor may add specific tasks like this one to your project to help you get started. To create a task, you're going to click on the plus icon under the to-do column. This means that you haven't actually started on the task yet, and you're just planning out what to do. Let's say you have to do a SWOT analysis for your project. For the title of the task, we're going to label it as, you guessed it, SWOT analysis. Owner is who will be taking responsibility for this task and ensuring that it's completed. If there are different moving parts, this person will be responsible for reviewing and putting the parts together. I'm going to make it Kiana for now. For workload, you can think about how much time or effort is needed to complete the task. For a SWOT analysis, I'd say it's a relatively low workload task because you can probably finish it relatively quickly. However, if the task is something like doing market research or writing a business report, then that might be more of a medium or high workload task because it might take you and your team more than a few days to finish it. Status is the column that the task will be in on the task board. So usually when you're creating a task, it's going to start out in the to-do column. When the status of this task changes, you can either change it here or change it directly by dragging the card to the appropriate column on the task board. Next, you can select the due date for this task. Let's say it's due in a week on May 15th. And just as a note, you can always go back and change any of the details. For example, if a teammate requires a SWOT analysis to work on their part of the project, you can always come back here and bump up the due date a little bit. So we'll change it to the 14th. Once you've selected the due date, you can add a brief description or some notes about the task if you like. For example, you might want to remind yourself or your teammates that the SWOT analysis needs to include at least 5 points for each heading. There's also the option to add any resources that might be helpful to the completion of this task. I'm going to go ahead and upload a photo of a sample SWOT analysis in case someone on my team doesn't know what it is or needs a quick reference. Finally, you can also break down your task further by creating different subtasks. Let's say that your teammate James wants to help with the SWOT analysis, and he wants to work on the strengths portion of it. What we're going to do is create a subtask and label it strengths, and then we're going to go ahead and assign this to James. You'll also have the option to choose the workload, due date, and details, just like we talked about before. Owners, like Kiana, will be responsible for making sure the entire SWOT analysis is complete, whereas James is only responsible for the strengths portion. Once you've created all of your tasks and have started working on your project, your task board is going to look a little bit more like this. Whenever you start on a new task, make sure to drag it to the In Progress column to indicate that you're currently working on it. If you've finished the task and would like your teammates to go over it, then drag it to the Under Review column so that they know it's ready for them to look at. To leave a comment or provide feedback on a task, all you have to do is click on the task. This will bring up the task drawer from the right. Scroll to the bottom where you can then write your feedback. Note that the rest of your teammates will also be able to view your feedback and not just the owner of the task. Once everything looks good, you can then move that task to complete. Remember to keep your task board up to date so that your progress is accurately reflected to your teammates and your instructor. And that's it. You have everything you need to create your first task. Remember, you don't need to create all of your tasks at the start. By the end of the term, your task board might look completely different than what it was at the start, but it's the brainstorming and planning that helps your team start off on the right foot. Thanks for watching!